What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 52nd episode of the PS Pony podcast, which marks the full year-ish circulation of our podcast. As always, I'm joined with Ronald McNerney, my best friend and co-host. How are you doing, Ron?
Oh, I'm crushing it. I feel like I say that every week because I don't know what to say when someone asks me how am I doing. But I've been doing good. You saw when you came in. We are using DraftKings right now. Greg had a promo code thing he's been saying to all of us for a free $100 risk-free stuff, and I love blackjack, and it's just kind of what's going to be happening for a little bit, I guess. That's the next chapter.
How much money have you won so far?
I just literally started playing right before the podcast. I did a $1 bet, and I won.
Hey.
I got 21, so what can I do?
Does that just double what you bet, or how does that work?
I mean, if you get so I didn't get blackjack. I kept hitting and I got 21. So it wasn't blackjack, so I didn't get the bonus money. Because if you get bonus, you would get half what you put in. If that makes sense. So if it was a $5 bet and I got blackjack, they'd give me $5 because that matches what I put in plus $250. So I would have won $750 off that hand.
Isn't blackjack 21?
Right. It's only if you get like king ace or 10 ace.
Gotcha.
Like 2 cards, blackjack,
Gotcha. Heard.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Nice.
But yeah, so I guess I'm a gambling gamer. They gave me $100. I will never lose, and I can't earn technically. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, it's how to get you though.
Next chapter of my life. Oh, I mean, yeah. It only takes $100 for you to become an addict.
Aside from the table games, Ron, what other video games are you playing this week?
I've been playing, as you have been playing, the Uncharted Remasters, which I don't consider them remasters because they always looked just as freaking good anyway.
Yeah.
Just not in 4K. Mm-hmm. Even though we're not playing in 4K, because at least I want 60 frames, so I'm not playing that.
No, of course.
But I mean, the game. It's cool. Like, I'm not like disappointed by it or anything. It's just Uncharted, but I've already played the game like 4 times. So like, I don't really know what I was expecting with these ports. I'm just calling them ports. I don't really know what I was expecting, but I'm gonna beat it. I don't know when I'll get to Lost Legacy though.
Gotcha.
Depends how much Uncharted 4 hits me.
Okay, so I'm doing it all. So I'm blown away by it. I think it looks beautiful. Not like, as you said, I don't think it needed the update.
It already looked beautiful. Is the thing.
No, you're absolutely right. But if you're out there and you haven't played either Uncharted 4 or Lost Legacy, you definitely get this version.
No,
you just do yourself a favor because the game plays and functions so good. So I started playing Lost Legacy on Saturday. Is when I started playing it. This past week, I've been playing Uncharted Golden Abyss on the Vita because I want to platinum it. Here's the issue. Yeah. So, classically, in the old Uncharted games, what you would have to do in order to unlock the crushing difficulty, you would have to first beat the game on hard. Right? You can't just... crushing isn't accessible just out the gate. So, I beat the game a long time ago, whenever I got my Vita. I just finished the hard collectible playthrough, right? Mm-hmm. Now I was thinking, okay, all I have to do is beat it on crushing and then clean up the like gun trophies, like
because then you can load it back in on easy or something.
Yeah, do all that stuff. But they added something in the Vita version called bounties, which is randomly, when you kill people in just through the game, you can collect bounties on them, and the spawns are random. Like it just various things. There's 4 different types of bounties you can collect. You have to collect all of them. The thing is this was a feature that was designed to operate with the Nier app on the PS Vita.
Yeah.
So like it's more of a social thing. Like you like ping, like you can like. So if you still had your Vita and you still had this game, I could send you bounties that I collected that don't take away from mine, and you can send me bounties that you've collected. So, but you can only do that every 3 hours. So that would make things easier. I'm not really sure how it works because I just read a little bit about it just to understand the trophy. Maybe it'd be cool if like there was a community for that, but there's just not. So it just makes things a little more difficult. And this could potentially ruin the platinum run for me, mainly because I'm fine getting, reloading an objective or whatever a bunch of times to like get kills with a gun or get headshots or whatever that is, right? But when it's just gonna come down to like RNG, like, oh, like, do I have these bounties? Am I gonna do it? So that's where it's gonna be tough. I did look. I actually have pretty much most of them are just done from, I guess, the first playthrough I did in this previous one, and supposedly they're more frequent on crushing.
Gotcha.
But there's one, I think it's like out of like 25, and I only have like 6. And I'm like, I don't know how easy that's going to be. So I'm thinking I'm going to play through on the crushing difficulty. We'll try to just keep an eye out for the guns I need to level, like the guns I need to get kills with. And then depending on where I'm at, if it's something ridiculous, like it's something I'm going to be like, all right, it's going to take hours to like get these bounty things done. I can see myself dropping it, but at the same time, it sucks because I don't want to go do a crushing playthrough on my Vita just to not, Right. But then another part of me is like, if it's crushing, the hard version gave me a hard enough time, not because it was actually hard, but because the controls on the Vita just aren't as fine tuned as the PS5. Who'd have thought?
Crazy.
But so I can see myself getting stuck in some areas and collecting those bounties. So we'll just figure it. We'll see. But you know what? Back to Uncharted for the PS5.
Well, actually, this is related to Uncharted because I couldn't really play Uncharted originally because my triangle button on my controller was just busted.
Yeah.
So I used Greg's Pro controller back there on his Gwent deck. Used that for a little bit, and then I was like, I just gotta buy. I just gotta pull the trigger and buy the controller. So Zach and I both went out to Target and bought the blue controllers.
Have you been using the blue mainly?
I have to if I'm playing Uncharted.
Dude, I really like the blue. I'm a big fan of the blue.
It's darker than it looks on the box, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that was borderline just baby blue, and I wasn't really a fan. That's why I
I
was
like
debating
baby
getting
blue.
black.
It's one of my favorite
I'd
blues.
rather have like a darker blue.
Yeah, it's... yeah.
Like a blue like your mic. I'd rather have like something like that. Not as glossy.
Oh, I see what you're saying. This is more of like a
it's a metallic glossy.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm really enjoying the controller. I want to get those. I haven't seen plates anywhere.
They just only the black and red, I believe, are available right now.
Oh, really?
The rest of the colors are coming later.
Gotcha.
Which I'm not getting plates.
I'm gonna get the purple one.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I don't want the blue plates or anything like that. Not anytime soon. If I did, maybe like a Christmas gift. But I'd rather just like make my own.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean, what I think I will do is I'll get the purple ones, and then the white plates are just gonna end up being like something I try to do something with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Like back to Uncharted, I'm really loving the new game. It feels so fluid. It's amazing. Like I said earlier, if you haven't played it, please go play it. I started playing on Lost Legacy, just because I was like, oh, you know what? I did Thief's End and then Lost Legacy. Like, granted, there was the gap because they weren't out yet. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start with Lost Legacy and then go to Thief's End. But Elise was over last night, and she was like, oh, I haven't seen Uncharted. Like, she's like, are you going to play it? I was like, yeah, I was, but this is what I'm doing. She's like, oh, well, I'm working. If you want to play it. I want to watch it. So I was like, all right, cool. So I loaded up Uncharted 4. She loved it.
I'm not surprised.
Like, she was like locked in. Like, she's like, are you gonna play like tomorrow? I was like, probably. She's like, can you wait?
Just make another save.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna finish the trophies for Lost Legacy first, and then that's when I'll worry. Realistically, I'll probably will need to make another save just because it's not gonna be a quick endeavor. But we got all the way to chapter 10.
Jeez.
So yeah.
I just got to Scotland.
Okay, so we just got to the cave.
Oh wow. Okay.
So like, what?
You played like a lot then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we started like, I want to say like 10:30 to like 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably put like 4 hours in.
Yeah, roughly. But yeah, man, I'm great. Can't really say anything better about it. While I was playing Uncharted 4 specifically, I didn't forget, but like I forgot just how good the game is, just how great it looks.
Oh no, the cutscenes.
Yeah, man, everything. It's just, I'm like, wow, damn.
You know what I kind of wished they did, which I had it was a pipe dream in the back of my head. I didn't want to say until we played it. instead of playing Crash, if they had Jak and Daxter, had a PS2, and then you just had to do like a Zoomer mission. Like you got on the Zoomer, had to go through like Fire Canyon or something, and they would just made like a scorecard out of like hitting the blue balloons and stuff, and or getting the scout flies and stuff and the orbs. I thought that would have been really cool if they would have done it. Back in my head, I was like, I didn't think they'd do it. Yeah, but it was like, what if they did it? I would freak out.
I agree, that would be pretty cool. When Elise saw like Crash Bandicoot, she's like, oh my god, like, are they allowed to do this? I was like, well, they made it, so
yeah. Well, Microsoft owns it now.
Yikes! Yeah, you know what Microsoft doesn't own? Bungie
anymore. Now there's Activision anymore. There's Activision.
Wouldn't that be funny if like whenever Phil Spencer put this deal in, they were like, we're gonna get them back. We're getting Bungie back. It's like, just kidding.
A few years too late. But so Bungie is joining PlayStation. It seems more of like a funding deal than anything. Yeah. Because their games are gonna still remain independent, multi-platform as a publisher. They're not really like Sony property. It's just more of like it's just more like a partnership. Yeah. In my eyes. Like they might provide maybe some overhead or just some funding, because it's a lot of money they put in. Oh yeah, absolutely. $3 billion. Yeah, I mean, like, and a lot of money for Sony.
That's the thing. When you texted me about this today, I was like, what? And it feels, just because of the timing, it kind of feels like a clapback.
It is. It's 100% a clapback. Their stock was tanking.
Yeah, I feel this had to been in play for like a while though.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean.
In probably more of a lighthearted sense, but like it definitely like shot up.
I mean, I could definitely
negotiations went through a lot quicker.
Yeah, I mean, because Sony stock fell a lot whenever they announced that Activision was purchased.
Yeah, that's just what happens, because Sony's main money is from gaming.
Right. I can see that being like the reason it's being announced now. But I feel like this was probably something that's been in the works for a minute.
I mean, I'm sure it is, but it's just, like hey, we're doing this too, and see what happens. I only hate this just because now we're in like that weird. I have two thoughts on it, but my first is like we're in that weird spot of like, all right, here's the two juggernauts, they're Sony and Microsoft. They're just gonna start buying shit, and then really all that's gonna end up being left is indie developers and then subscriptions at that point. Yeah, which is the scary part for me that I'm not a fan of. I had another point, but I want to hear what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I feel like it is starting to get to a point where like I don't really want to live in a future where it's like all the major game developers are either owned or about to be acquired by either Microsoft or Tencent or Sony. That's definitely scary. And it's not something that I think is really healthy for the gaming market, because think of all the indie games that are amazing. Right. Like, and like that's the thing.
Indies will still thrive.
No, like they will, but like that's the thing, is it's just going to become like the standard, because if you're an indie developer, say you make like a game like Hollow Knight, and Sony's like, hey, we want to buy you with all this money and all these resources, like, are you going to walk away from that? Probably not.
Well, even I don't know, I forget the name of the devs, but for Ori, they walked away from Microsoft. They don't want it to be Xbox exclusive and PC exclusive anymore, because they weren't making enough money.
No, right.
And I think that's the problem that indie devs are gonna have if they were to do that. Yeah. Like, I don't know, Stardew Valley. That was only one dude. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he would have been like, hell yeah, I'll take it. But he has stood to make a lot more money by himself.
Oh, definitely.
Hollow Knight, they would lose money. 100%. A crazy amount of people would buy the game, but no one's buying a console for Hollow Knight. They're buying a console for Destiny or Call of Duty.
Right, exactly.
Or Madden.
And like that, I think that's also the other thing too, is that with this acquisition, it's we're getting in this weird place. I saw on the internet, like, it's not a console war anymore. It's a content war.
Yeah, a content war.
It's
I think Jason Schreier talked about that.
Somebody, I saw it on like IGN
a lot of people have been talking about like that being the thing.
And like it is, and that's what's crazy is like, I think Game Pass gets a lot of notoriety and like, oh, like best deal in video games, which it is, of course. But I think once Sony drops Spartacus, that's really where we're going to see the industry shift to the point where it's going to be something that now these two services are competing. Like, it's like I think it was Skill Up. I think it was in a Skill Up video. He talked about like Netflix. Like at first, Netflix was the juggernaut. That was all you had. Like everyone had Netflix. Netflix was great. Now we have Disney Plus. Now we have HBO Max. Now we have all these other things. It's going to be very similar. I can see, Steam coming out with some type of service like this, depending on how Sony's works. And I think that's just where we're going. So now it's not necessarily because I don't think Destiny's going anywhere from any console, right? No. But that being said, I can see especially depending on how Call of Duty goes and like how like the exclusivity stuff happens with Activision Blizzard, I can see Bungie coming out with a PlayStation and PC exclusive shooter.
That's the thing I was gonna say next. That was my other point was it could be the tactic into lose fan favoritism in Microsoft, lose their fanfare. Yeah, like if they make it exclusive, then Sony's like, well, we kept we bought Bungie, like we kept this multi-platform. Like, what would happen if like their next game could be exclusive now? Like, I think it's more of like a don't you dare try to do it because they're already starting to do it Bethesda, and I think that is losing a lot of money for PlayStation.
Oh, definitely,
and it's just more of like fuck. Activision, come on. Like they just don't have the money, so they need to do these in certain ways to get this job done.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is, I've been seeing a lot of like podcasts and videos about like, okay, well, hypothetically say PlayStation loses Call of Duty. What's taking its place? Are they going to reboot Killzone? Are they going to do Resistance? Like how are they going to answer this, right? And I was thinking like, I don't know. I don't know what game could answer Call of Duty. They tried it with Killzone, didn't work. Or they tried it to like challenge Halo, that didn't work at all. So what game could? Hearing this today, a shooter made by Destiny or made by Bungie with like the Destiny gameplay feel, absolutely
Bungie put
could
Xbox
take
on
Call
the
of
map.
Duty. Yeah.
The only reason Xbox is a success is because of Halo.
Yeah.
That is just the game that made you buy an Xbox enough to keep pushing everything. Gears of War came through, and Forza for like certain audiences. So that is like the thing. We already know former COD devs and other like Infinity War devs and other people too are working on a shooter for PlayStation as well. So that'll be interesting to see what happens when that comes out. It was funny because there was a lot of I've been reading rumors of it for a bit. Of who's Sony to buy next. My assumption was Square Enix out of like the many. They can't afford Take-Two. There's no shot they buy EA, but this is an interesting fit.
So like I was because we talked before the show. I put in a thing of like we were planning on talking about who do you think Sony should buy, and not in response to this, but like what's their next acquisition? My original pick was From Software. I thought that made a lot of sense.
Yeah, I was From Software, Square Enix for like my number 2, and then Konami being like the third. Yeah.
So I saw a tweet someone put out, and it was like Activision Xbox buys Activision, which owns Crash and Spyro. Sony buys Bungie, which owns Halo. Then Xbox responds by buying Konami.
Yeah. No, and then it was something like that too, and then it was just like Nintendo makes a Wario surfing game.
Yeah.
In response.
Yeah, man. I almost feel like Nintendo is like the
Nintendo is always gonna sell. That's the thing.
Well, I feel like it's like if this is a household, it's like PlayStation and Xbox are like the parents who are always arguing, and then Nintendo's just in the corner, just like sitting there listening to their parents argue.
Well, even like talking about Nintendo too, I don't know if you did see this. I did throw it in the chat, so we have a great transition there too. Nintendo soon, if they didn't already, I doubt they did, because usually Thursdays are earnings calls sometimes for big companies. Nintendo, before their earnings, that they're going to announce how many Switches they've sold 92.9 million lifelong sales of the Switch.
Yeah.
So the PS1 has 102.4 mil, and the Wii has 101.6. So it's gonna definitely pass. In my opinion, it's gonna pass both in this quarterly earnings one because they just launched.
What is the PS2 at?
The PS1.
Oh, the PS1.
The PS1 is at 102.4 mil.
Okay.
The PS4 is above that at 120, and the PS2 is at like 150.
Does the Switch Lite and the
yes,
they all count?
They count because it's the Nintendo Switch like platform.
Gotcha.
Now it was the same like with the Nintendo DS's. Because that's the DS is so high up because there's the DS Lite, the DS, the DSi, the DSi XL.
Okay.
Those 4 all counted towards the Nintendo DS being second most selling ever.
Jesus.
It didn't change until the 3DS was out, and then 3DS, 3DS, and that just did better than the Xbox One, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, it will not surprise me to see the Switch take the. It won't surprise me if the Switch overtakes the PS2. It
wouldn't surprise me either, honestly. Yeah. I mean,
they're gonna grind this thing to the ground. They still haven't even created a beefier version of it, which will still stay the same name.
Yeah.
Of Switch, it'll just be Switch XL or Switch Pro.
Yeah.
Because the PS4 Pro is also in PS4 sales.
Right.
Too. So they'll come out with a Switch Pro, in potentially response to Steam having their Steam Deck.
Yeah, and you know what? That's so crazy.
I think that's like Nintendo's competitor right now is. Not even Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I don't really think they consider them competitors because Nintendo's just doing their own shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're competing against Steam, you lose if it's Nintendo. But they lose because they don't have Mario, and people are always going to buy Mario.
We're always going to buy Mario.
Anything with that or Zelda and their Pokemon. They just have 3 juggernauts.
Have you seen anything on Arceus?
I watched a bit. It looked boring. The world looked really bland. Like I watched like an IGN review, and I think they gave it a 7.
They did.
And there was like, you go into a cave. Where's it gonna go? Nowhere. Okay, leave the cave. And like there was like one dungeon. I think she said it was like 40 hours. I forget how many hours in the game. Like 20 hours.
Okay.
Like
I thought you were about to say one dungeon is 40 hours.
No. It was like very deep into the game. And then there was like post game content that wasn't like really worth it because it was like. So I doubt I buy it, which kind of sucks because I would like to see how this turned out, but a lot of games have just seen Breath of the Wild and said I want to do that too.
Yeah,
I'm hoping. I hope sales aren't terrible to the point where they don't make a sequel. I don't think Nintendo has really ever said no. You really can't make that.
Yeah.
But I feel like Pokemon.
Well, I mean, there's no such thing as a bad selling Pokemon game,
right? But I feel like Pokemon has just gone lazy.
I mean, like, they're just. I mean, like, has it gotten lazy or has it just kind of been the same formula?
No, because there was like videos of like old Pokemon games I saw today where it was like the animations for attacking were like actually like Snorlax kind of getting up and doing like a leg kick and stuff in like the old games. And like,
was it? I don't remember that.
Very old games. So you wouldn't have remembered.
Yeah.
So it was like that. And then it cut to the most recent Pokemon game where it's just Pikachu used double kick or something, and it's just Pikachu bouncing twice, and then that's the attack, and then just the flick and like that. Or I don't know how like Sword and Shield was. I forget how they looked, but it wasn't anything like crazy.
I mean, it's usually just like like stuff shooting out of them,
right?
And like stuff like that.
Like it looks uninspired, and that's what kind of sucks. And it's just kind of going down that route. I get this is like a remake, but like, come on.
There's a remake?
Well,
you mean Diamond and Pearl?
Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, okay.
Like there were still glitches from the DS version in this.
Really?
Yeah. People still found and exploited.
Jesus.
They were able to patch it thanks to new tech.
Yeah.
And internet, but that's just kind of that's the issue I'm just not really like a fan of.
Yeah.
And that's what's kind of stopping me from playing Diamond is that it's just like, all right, like I'm playing this again, like I'm having fun, but you know, I have Uncharted, a game that I have also already played.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching Joel play Arceus, and I mean, it looks cool. It definitely like looks like an interesting thing. I like the idea of like, I like how that's how you catch Pokemon. I would actually really love to see a Pokemon game with this idea. Not like, you know what I mean? Not just like a standard you run through grass. Like this is the type of like a mix between like an RPG and let's go.
I like hiding in grass from Pokemon. You hit them with the Uno reverse card.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So like that's really cool. Also, I noticed in this game, like, dude, Pokemon are huge.
Oh my god.
Like a Psyduck is like 5 feet tall, dude. Like this thing is crazy. But
I was always a nerd when I was a kid. I looked at the Pokedexes and stuff. So I was like, wow, they're tall.
Yeah. And like I was watching him play it, and like it definitely looks cool, but like, like I noticed he was like in a conversation with some people, and I was like, is there any like dialogue, like real dialogue in the? I'm like, oh, it's an RPG. Thinking from like a Persona perspective, like yeah, like main story stuff has, and he's like, no. I'm like, oh. And like it was raining, and like there was no music. There was just ambient noise. I was like, okay. I mean, I feel like you can put like something there, or like even like add like a little like noises, that like when they talk, like Animal Crossing or something.
That's like what sucks is like when it comes to music in games, like I don't know. I'm very particular when music is used in situations like. If I'm watching something and music is playing and it doesn't need to be there, I get like actually kind of pissed off. But whenever there's no music playing, it should just be because you're supposed to focus on something, focus on a subject matter.
Yeah.
And when it's just Pokemon, when they're not talking, there's just reading text and there's no music, I feel like I'm reading a book. Yeah. Staring at a screen that's just gonna make me tired. I'm like, all right, I'm out.
Right.
Whereas like Persona, whenever the music cuts, it's like, all right, I need to fucking focus real quick and like understand what's happening. Right. And they're actually talking, so I'm not going to get bored, especially with that soundtrack.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll probably maybe pick it up at some point.
I would only do it if it's like mega on sale and it's a Nintendo game, so that will never happen. Not happening. That will never happen.
Maybe $10. That's the most I think I've seen a Switch game go on sale is like $10.
It was probably like a third party game.
I don't even know. No, I've seen like Mario and stuff. Well, they'll go down 10. They rarely go more than 10, but they'll go down 10.
Gotcha.
And I think like Target will do like that, like buy two get one free deal. I think that. Switch's games aren't included in that. I'm not sure though.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
I think Target just considers games just a game.
Just game. Yeah.
Like, just hey, games. Buy me Call of Duty for my PlayStation. Comes home with the Xbox version of it.
Yeah.
So, just speaking of like Target and stuff too, I think it was Walmart. We talked about this. There was a French store that put warning signs on the display case for PS5 controllers saying that Microsoft bought Activision.
Yeah.
And that like and it says in parentheses that means Call of Duty.
That means Call of Duty. And
it's just like, ooh, like that's kind of weird, but
yeah, that is like
that seems very
weird.
That seems very like, oh my god, my platform won type of thing.
Yeah, and like that's the thing is like I'm honestly I don't think Sony like we talked about this last week. I don't think Sony has any reason to be worried. I mean, especially now that they have Bungie. And like I didn't mention it, I forgot to mention it. The other reason I'm really interested in this is because since they're partnered with Activision, since they're partnered with Sony, there's too many companies going on right now. Since they're partnered with Sony now, they now have access to their film side. So if there is a TV show or movie that they want to make for Destiny as like some type of supplementary content or anything else, they have the ability to do that,
Yeah, I can see the marketing right now of Destiny the show, and everyone's like, "Oh, they rebranded Halo," and then a Halo ad for Paramount Plus comes out in a second. And they're like, "What the hell is going on right now?"
Yeah.
I don't see that going well at all. But hey, I'm here for it. I mean, I could see it happening.
I don't know. I feel like a Destiny TV show would actually be really cool.
Well, I feel like the marketing has to really say this is Destiny and not Halo. Depends how well Halo does.
I don't think people would get them confused.
I think they would. I think they're gonna see people in this like armor stuff, and they're gonna if Halo's a huge success, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, this must be like a spinoff.
Maybe
you're looking at the eyes of someone who plays video games, where someone watching football and sees the Paramount Plus ad with everyone doing like the Halo music all the time, and they see Master Chief in their head. They're gonna see people in armor like this and think Destiny. They're gonna see those aliens. They're gonna think Destiny.
I can see what you're saying.
Or they're gonna think Halo.
I can see what you're saying.
We're looking at the eyes of people who actually played games.
Yeah.
Whereas like people who are just like sci-fi nerds that actually don't play video games, they might, or just people in general looking for something new to watch.
That's fair.
A big budget show. Yeah, most people are gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, people watched Witcher, and that was just a big budget show they marketed to kind of be like a Game of Thrones-esque like time period when it's not really.
No.
But it's one of the best viewed shows ever. I think it's number 3 for season 1 of all time on Netflix. Yeah, for premieres.
I believe that.
Yeah.
What's number 1? Do you know?
Shows? I don't think it's Stranger Things. It was like something else. I'll look it up.
Because I think. Oh, well, I feel like I know it. What was like a big show on Netflix? It was a big show before Stranger Things.
Bridgerton. Bridgerton season 1
really
has 82 million.
No friggin' way.
And then next one is Lupin Part 1 for 76, and then Witcher season 1 for 76 mil. It's like
what's 4 and 5?
Sex Life season 1 67 mil, and then Stranger Things season 3 67 million.
Jesus.
Money Heist is next for 65.
That's crazy.
Actually, I have been wanting to watch Money Heist.
It's good.
I downloaded episodes for my plane flight back from San Diego, and I started loading up the episode, and it looked like a sex scene. I was in between two women. I was in between two girls, and I was like, this already makes me just uncomfy. Yeah. It was like a red room, and I was like, yeah, I'll be seeing you. And I just closed it, and I was like, I guess I'll just go fuck myself. And I watched Red Notice again.
I like that movie, dude.
I've seen it 3 times now, but yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, sidebar.
Anyway, yeah.
Did you see? Did you get the little notification today? Well, I guess it wasn't really a notification, but Discord for now for some people it's integrated.
I did not. I didn't get that notification.
I looked up. I looked into the Discord app on my computer. I don't have access to it yet. It's just kind of coming soon. All it is really right now is just linking your account. So if I'm playing Uncharted and you're on Discord, you can see that I'm playing Uncharted.
Yeah.
In like whatever. Not all the features for it are out yet. They literally said, quote, of course, everything needs to stay super secret at the time, so they can't share everything. I'm assuming that is just gonna be like the, audio chat between the consoles directly,
right.
Which will be nice. So, yeah. But it's nice that it's starting to kind of get there. They kind of hit a lot of announcements today. They're like, just do it. Just do something. That's why it's coming out slowly. They were ready for a mass drop. They're like, nah, dude, we need to do this right now.
Well, dude, even on when I was looking for stuff earlier this week, I've just been seeing all kinds of stuff. I mean, 3 new Star Wars games coming out by Respawn. Respawn's working on 3 new Star Wars games, which is crazy. Which is now I feel like we're just getting Star Wars games left and right. Which I'm not complaining about.
Well, that's because EA doesn't have exclusive access to it anymore.
Yeah.
That's why.
Right.
And I'm very happy for that.
Exactly, dude.
You were talking about Respawn. I'm sorry. Respawn's making that.
Respawn's making them.
Yeah.
Respawn's making 3 new Star Wars games. I have no idea what they're going to be. I'm very interested to see. One is Jedi Fallen Order 2. That's confirmed. I'm interested to see like a first-person shooter out of them, just because of what they did with Titanfall. I think it'd be really cool to have like not like Battlefront where it's a third person or first person, like a fully dedicated first person shooter. You're playing as ideally a clone, because that's my favorite time period.
Right.
But like anything like that, I think would be really, really, really cool. But speaking of features that were added, Ron, did you see the auto uploading captures?
I heard about it. I didn't read too much into it. Is that so? Like, if you take a clip on your PlayStation, it could just be on your phone immediately? Is that how it works? Yeah.
So basically,
so I can like save it to my photos.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. So if which has been available on Xbox, I'm pretty sure you can just move it right to your phone.
I'm sure it has been.
That's gonna make things so much easier if we ever want to make like a video or anything.
Because it goes right to iCloud and we just download it.
Exactly. I believe it only holds the video for like 2 weeks though.
Oh, okay.
Before like you actually have to go into the I don't know if that's to like save space.
I'm sure it is.
Or like what, but I think it's like a 2-week window that you have to like grab it off of the app and throw it up onto your phone.
Is that available now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you should have opened the app and you should have had like a little thing. I missed it. And I didn't even realize what it was until like later I saw it.
I didn't realize it.
Because I thought it was just like, oh, do you want to link your phone with your PlayStation? I'm like, yeah, whatever. But I hit enable, so
yeah.
I thought it was asking me like, oh, like, do you want to use the same account? Just some nonsense,
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's here, and that I really love that feature. That's such a cool, like, just nice feature, because there have been so many times, not really, but there have been times where like I've like when I worked at BJ's, like talking to people about clips and stuff, I would try to pull something up, but like because of Wi-Fi and stuff, it's just not loading, or it's static, or like it's blurry and stuff, which is kind of hard for some of the clips because you're showing a cool snipe from a far distance, like you can't see anything anyway. So
I've been wanting to, because you brought it up, and I've had like the thought in the back of my head, like prior to even you bring it up, like wanting to save the clips and stuff. Every clip I like love. I've added it to my favorites on PlayStation.
I didn't even know you could add favorites.
Yeah,
clips.
you can.
That's awesome.
So it'll create its own folder.
Okay.
So I wanted to go through and then do a bit more of that. Just go through like all the clips some weekend. Like I was kind of saving it for like, honestly, Valentine's Day, when all these kids above us are celebrating. I ain't doing crap. I'll probably go through all the clips. That sounds depressing as hell, and I don't care. Favorite the ones, and then I could just throw a USB in, pull it, and then good to go. Yeah. Like I'll throw it on the computer. I've been wanting to buy a bunch of small storage USBs to have like a video journal kind of thing. Yeah. I need to do that with like concert clips and like vacations and stuff, but I'll get to that. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm probably be doing that soon, but this makes it easier.
Yeah. Me. Oh, absolutely.
A lot.
Absolutely, man.
The clips have slowed down. We don't play Warzone anymore. Well, you play Warzone. Yeah. I don't play Warzone anymore.
Well, what sucks is like I've hit a lot of clips that like whenever I'm playing by myself, I just don't even think about. You know, like I had my one win that I had. Dude, I was just, I don't know what it was. I was hitting snipes that I just should not have been hitting. And it wasn't until like a day or two after that I was thinking back on the game, and I was like, you know what? I should have clipped that whole game. Yeah. But like I feel like it's so hard to judge, because I feel like having you guys in there be like, oh my god, like, you know what I mean? I feel like that just adds to like oh yes, I should clip this, you know. So
right.
I feel like that just adds to like oh yes, I should clip this.
Yeah. Yeah, we need a co-op game at some point to kind of like, or not even like a co-op game, just like a multiplayer game that like kind of just gets us back into it.
I hope it is. High key, but low key.
That might help out the household more than anything. Yeah, I don't know, maybe Halo, or not Halo. My God, Destiny, same difference. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's funny, right? When we kind of started, quote unquote, to play again, Destiny. That's dropping. So cool.
There is. It is for GT.
Zach, there's a state of play coming soon. Wednesday actually. It's gonna start on February 2nd at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. here, which is standard normal time. Which means I don't know if I'm working late Wednesday. I don't think I am. If I am, I guess I'm missing it. But if not, I'll be there. But I'll just read a bit of it. It's a very short article. I'll just read the whole thing. Brett Elson, this is on the PlayStation blog. The first 2022 State of Play arrives later this week, and we're all revved up for just over 30 minutes of new PS5 footage and gameplay details for Gran Turismo 7. Watch live February 2nd on Twitch TV or YouTube starting at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. CET. See you Wednesday. Yeah. So it's not only Gran Turismo. Right. It's just 30 minutes of just PS5 footage. So like, what's coming up? Like, blah, blah, blah. Maybe Hogwarts will drop. We'll see. Though we'll talk about that in a second. When you put in the group chat with me and Greg. But State of Play coming. Do you think they're going to show off anything crazy? I don't expect it, because they're not really hyping this up.
Yeah, you know what? I think PlayStation has so much going on right now that they don't really need to like. I feel like right now they're prepping for Horizon.
February's so busy.
Yeah, like remember,
they'll probably show a trailer for Horizon.
I think they're just getting ready for Elden Ring.
Maybe some Elden Ring stuff.
Horizon at this point. I don't. Sifu. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if
Sifu will probably get a.
I'd be shocked if like they drop like the God of War release date in this. You know, I'd be shocked if like they drop like the God of War.
Oh my God,
the God of War
that would
release
just be
date is
like,
in the credits of
Horizon. I don't know how many
Horizon.
people are going to be watching some they're calling 30 minutes.
That'd be funny. I think that'd be actually a really cool way to like drop like information about their games, like their Sony Cinematic Universe.
Just people getting really confused. The SCU. Right? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
Hey,
I'm not
maybe we'll
expecting
finally
like
get
too
that Sly
much
information.
of it. I mean, maybe like a Hogwarts release date, but I don't really know. Yeah, in a 30-minute conference.
Yeah.
I mean, they could maybe just show a 10-second teaser and say, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, we're doing it. Shut up. But we ain't getting it.
I hope Sony knows we want it.
Sony still knows we want it. That's apparently enough for them.
Yeah, they have. But I
mean, they've been putting Sly Cooper stuff in trailers. But like that whole chess trailer
but
thing.
I feel I don't know if that's like they're
on it.
actively going to do something with it, or it's like, oh, this is all of our library, and they know that there's a nostalgia to that, And they know that there's. Oh,
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, exactly. Sly, Jack, and Ratchet just have so much nostalgia. They're still making Ratchet.
I think a lot about Ron. I feel like
the Sly Cooper movie.
If I had to pick
in 2016,
like a defining game genre for like kids our age and growing up, and even a little before us, I feel like it'd be the platformer. And I don't think it really sucks. I think because I think about my little cousins, I don't think that's their experience. You think? I don't think that's their experience. I mean, I know shooters, but like action, like what action adventures? Like, would you say? I mean, I know shooters, but like.
Yeah, Fortnite.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank, like the Psychonauts. It Takes Two. That's just games that have recently come out, though. I think action adventures have been the Sony's main focus, which has shifted the industry a lot. Kids games still. Yeah. I mean, like I don't know, like.
Yeah.
Platformers definitely for us and prior because that's the thing that worked all the time. Shooters started to become the thing that worked all the time when we reached middle school.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. So you have Fortnite, you have Warzone, Apex Legends, all these different things, kid focused or not. Everyone tried to do, and I guess PUBG, whatever, no one cares. But not free to play, by the way. Everyone tried to do the Battle Royale formula, and 4, whatever, are the only ones who've survived so far, and everyone's done. But it's just FPSs. And then just whatever the kids are playing.
That's the thing, man.
Like, what did Will play before
I don't
you
know
played
if it's
Warzone?
just like how kids nowadays play, or just the vast difference of like person that like me and him are.
Well, the difference is that.
Well, I mean, like in the sense that, like,
Twitch.
I mean, for us, like gaming was like
when we were little kids.
Like if we weren't out actively doing something, like we were at home playing Xbox together. So like he just doesn't play games like that.
Right, but
he just doesn't play games like that.
Yeah, sure, but I'm sure for like a lot of kids, how you got someone to buy a game when you were a kid in school was word of mouth. But you don't have to say word of mouth about Fortnite at first. You just say word of mouth about Ninja and streamers, and they're like, oh, they're so funny. So you have the funny streamers playing the game. If you have a chance to be in the same lobby as Ninja and dunk on him, that's hype. People play it, and it's free.
Yeah.
And so there's no age restriction on it, because it's rated T. So I mean, unless you have really strict parents, you're fine. And you're playing the game, and you're doing everything. You're getting them V-Bucks and the pinatas, and that's really all you get. It depends on what your favorite streamer plays.
Yeah.
I wanted to play more Warzone because I started watching Tim a lot, and that's just what happens.
Fair.
Even variety streaming has made me want to play other games.
I mean, we had like YouTube, but
branch out.
The climate of that is vastly different now.
At a minuscule amount.
Yeah.
Well, we had YouTube, and what was the biggest thing on
stuff.
there? Call of Duty. For in the gaming side of things, it was that.
Yeah.
It was trick shots, and it was Red versus Blue. Were the big things. And you know why?
Yeah.
Everyone bought a freaking Xbox because of Halo and Call of Duty deals on there, and that's just how it shifted.
Mm-hmm.
I still go back and sometimes
I don't think I've seen
I
a
looked
single
up Syndicate, because he posts
did he die? Is that? No.
Yeah, I watched him a lot for mine.
I could.
No.
I remember there was.
Yeah, you're thinking of
Yeah,
Yosei.
I thought there was someone that you watched that died.
And there's other people who died, but
does he still make content, Syndicate?
No.
Does he still make content, Syndicate?
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of who would have passed that I watched. I mean, there's a few streamers I watched that, whatever. That's. But there was the Syndicate's still he doesn't post like consistently on his gaming one, but he still posts every day on his vlog channel for like years. But I watched a video because I remember the last time I watched him on his vlog channel, I didn't really like watch it a lot. It was just more of like, all right, like I'll watch it like once a week or whatever, because I watched a lot of vlogs back in the day. But he bought a house and then he renovated the whole house. He tore it down and then he built it. And the first video I click on back on him just to see like what the hell he's like, he buys the house next door and he's building it ground up as an expansion. I'm like, Jesus Christ, just doing all this shit. I think he streams still, but I know it's just vlogs because I think gaming just got boring.
I mean,
that's just how it is. Vlogs have been popped off. I mean, I used to watch Boyfriend vs. Girlfriend. They were just couple streamers that would prank each other, but they had like daily vlogs.
Well, Jordan
they broke up, so that got you just stopped watching after that.
With this girl that has over 1 million subscribers now. All she does is just record herself in her car eating fast food. That's it. Not even like a review. She just literally eats it and talks.
Like as a review or just just chilling and talking?
This is the thing. She explained this to me, and I was like, that sounds so dumb. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, this is so dumb. And like, she's not. She doesn't strike me as a very intelligent person. She was doing a makeup tutorial, and they had it on the thing, and she was like, this is, I forget what the brand was. I'm just going to call it like, I don't know, Olay. Isn't that's an Olay. She goes, it's the Ebony Olay. Sure. Ebony. It's Ebony. And then she showed us a follow-up video to that. She's like, oh my God, everyone in the comments was like, it's Ebony. I was like, I don't even know what that is, but I guess that's how you say it. I was like, oh my God.
You know what's funny, Zach, is that you give flack on that, but I went to Elisa's house with you the other day, and you were enthralled watching Power Wash Simulator.
She's doing what she's doing, you know? I don't have a 1 million subscribers. We don't have 1 million subscribers. Yeah. Dude.
Imagine she should just stream on YouTube every day.
Yeah, dude. Shit. That's what I'm saying.
You get some members in the chat? Yeah. Be hype. Yeah.
Well, we got some
in
goofy
terms
things
of news
that
and just
a French company.
I mean, that's kind of what I got.
Well, we got some goofy things.
Yeah. Dummy soft.
Oh, stupid dumbass soft. Dummy soft. Dude, they're dummy soft in the brain right now for thinking that the reason we don't like NFTs in video games is because it's too complicated. I'll have you know I watched about half of a 2-hour video explaining.
Yeah, well, okay,
so
NFTs, on top of that, Troy Baker also has retracted his partnership with the VoiceVerse NFT company.
Yeah.
He kind of apologized for it, specifically for accusing people, for anyone who disagrees with him as hating. He's no longer working with them. Unsurprising, especially after the reception that tweet got. But yeah, Ubisoft is goofy for saying this. So for those of y'all who don't know, basically Ubisoft is launching this Quartz. That's what it's called, right? So it's a way to buy games with NFTs through an NFT.
Yeah,
and they're saying that the people who are angry about this don't know enough about NFTs, which is a shitty headline for sure. What they're saying is basically saying like, you don't know what we have yet, see what we have, try it out, and then make your decision, which is like, okay, I get that, but also this is very convoluted. Right.
NFTs are just a cash grab for the rich who
so
can
I mean,
sell
we'll
to
see how
people.
this goes.
That's all it is.
I don't really, because like they're plugging this stuff about like, oh, like the games will make money for you. I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? The games are making money for me. You know. What are you talking about? So I feel like one of these game companies who are trying to do this, they just need to come out with like a 2-hour long video of like, this is what happens and this is what's going on. And until there's like a brutally honest look of like, this is how we're implementing these things in a very in-depth way, rather than just like a few quotes from an executive of a company, I don't think anyone's ever going to get on board with this.
So honestly, if you do want to watch a really, really good video on the problem with NFTs and crypto, I haven't fully finished the video yet. because it's long. The video is called "Line Goes Up: The Problem with NFTs." It's on YouTube. It was posted by Folding Ideas 10 days ago. It was posted. It has 3.6 million views, which I think is his highest video ever. I'm sure when you put NFTs in the title, what happens. It's 2 hours and 18 minutes long. But I've been kind of like listening to it during work when I like drive and stuff. Really, really, really well done. Staying the hell away from that. I mean, I was never gonna invest in NFTs because it's stupid. There's no security. But that's a topic for another time. But yeah, I think it's so dumb. I don't know. It's the hot thing. It's the hot way to make money. If you're an idiot, and that's about it. But the company, Ubisoft, has so much money
from Nicholas,
that they are
Nicholas
proud to sell
Proud,
their
who
shit to
leads
dumbasses.
the Ubisoft Strategic Innovations Lab. His quote is, "For now, because of the current situation, the context of NFTs, gamers really believe it's first destroying the planet, and second, a tool for speculation." Okay, those don't sound like good things, and he said nothing to combat that. Like, he didn't say, there's no follow-up.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he goes on to say the end game is about giving players the opportunity to resell their items once they've finished with them or they're finished playing the game itself. Okay, that makes a little more sense. You know, you have a physical game, you can sell it to GameStop, you can sell it online, do whatever you want to do with it. The difference is if for whatever reason Ubisoft shuts down as a company, you lose everything. You know, if Ubisoft shuts down, I still have Assassin's Creed Valhalla on my shelf.
If Ubisoft shuts down, I still have Assassin's Creed Valhalla on my shelf.
And even if you buy this game digitally through PlayStation or Xbox, they already made their cut on it. So where do they make their cut if you're selling a game that you bought off their store?
Yeah.
And how do you sell that?
And that's
because
the thing,
license is tied to the console. So how are you selling it? Do you just deactivate it off your profile and then there's like a voucher code they use to download?
I'm not
That
an expert
sounds
in this. I don't even know what
shady as
this
hell.
really even is. I'm just asking questions in a very critical way. You know? Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Why's your voice high pitch? Okay. I don't know if you were leading this. I thought honestly I had the screen stopped reflecting off of you, and I was like, "Are you about
That's
to
not
play
that type
video
of
or something?"
podcast. Dude, did you see the Italy? I think it's Italy. They had some like government meeting and they played the porn. No, this was recent. There was some government meeting for in Italy or whatever, and they had like a Nobel Prize winner, and when he came on, the screen was Final Fantasy VII porn. It was a video of Final Fantasy VII porn, and dude, it wasn't taken down quick.
Oh my god!
It was up for a minute, like not an actual minute. I have no idea. It was up for way longer than it should have been, and then the video went down, but the audio didn't.
Way longer than it should have been, and then the video went down.
And then eventually they just killed the whole like video feed and everything. But like,
and then eventually
dude,
they just killed the whole.
How does that happen?
Dude, how does that happen?
Yeah.
Oh my god. What I was referring to is something way more innocent. The early pandemic, whenever you had your old timers and government people trying to use Zoom, there was like a court case or whatever, and the judge or someone, their filter changed so that they would look like a cat, and they didn't know how to change it. And the whole time they were like, I don't know how to change it, but it looked like a really sad cat saying, I don't know what to do, and it was so funny.
Yeah, man, it is
It was on every
goofy.
news channel, dude.
It is goofy, man.
That is way different.
Yeah, but hey, that's this week in video games, you know. Yeah, man. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning into this week's Centennial. That's not it. That's not Centennial. What am I saying? The inaugural year.
Not even 100.
No. The anniversary. This isn't even the anniversary.
Well,
what is this?
This is episode 52.
Yeah,
Thanks for being with us for a year.
What is this?
This is episode 52 of the PSPonies podcast.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into episode 52 of the PS Pony podcast. Where once a week, every week, me and my best friend Ron get together to bring you all of the Sony and other gaming news you need to know
Every
about.
week.
Please subscribe, like us, comment, share. Ron, if they want to actively communicate with us. How can they do that?
Comment, share, Ron, if they want to actively communicate with us. How can they do that?
You can ask us your questions and give us, honestly, a lot of criticism. We don't care. At AskPSPonies@gmail.com. That is AskPSPonies@gmail.com. And you can also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/PSPonies.
All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
Bye.